Ever get hit with that seafood craving, but then you're like, wait, do I really want to support, wiping out entire fish populations?
Yeah, it's a tough one, right?
It is, but maybe, just maybe, there's a better way. That's what we're diving into today. Aquaculture Recirculation Technicians. You're interested in this whole career path, and lucky you, we've got the scoop from RoleCatcher.
Smart move because aquaculture is only growing. And when we say aquaculture, we're talking farming and water. But these days, it's getting high tech.
High-tech how? Give us the rundown.
Think land-based. Think self-contained systems where you're basically recreating an entire ecosystem. That's where recirculating systems come in. RAS, we call them.
RAS, okay, so not just like a bigger fish tank then.
Oh, way more than a fish tank, trust me. We're talking complex engineering. These systems are all about sustainability, closing that loop so you're constantly cleaning and reusing the water, minimizing the impact.
So like a water filtration system on steroids.
More like a whole symphony of technology. You've got your pumps, aerators, these things called biofilters that are basically like bacterial superheroes cleaning up waste. Then there's the lighting, temperature control, even backup power. Because, well, fish can't exactly hold their breath if the power goes out.
Starting to feel a little more space station than fish tank now. Okay, but where does the aquaculture recirculation technician actually fit into all this? What are they, like fish doctors? Tech support that makes house calls for trout?
You're getting warmer. It's a really cool blend of, well, knowing your way around both high-tech systems and, the fish themselves.
So a bit of a techie and in tune with nature.
Exactly. We're talking monitoring water quality with crazy precision, making sure the temperature, the pH, the oxygen levels are all perfect for whatever species you're raising. And it's not just about the numbers either. It's about observing the fish themselves, their behavior, noticing those subtle signs that something might be off before it becomes a big problem.
Like fish whispering, but with a data analysis side hustle.
Something like that. It's a job for people who like to have their heads in the game, their hands dirty, and maybe even a little fish food on their boots from time to time.
Okay, so you've piqued my interest, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the reality of being an aquaculture recirculation technician. Is it all smooth sailing and happy fish, or are there some bumps along the way?
Well, I'm not going to lie, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But the good news is the aquaculture industry is booming.
Booming how? Like everyone's going to have a salmon farm in their basement soon?
Maybe not that booming. But get this, by some predictions, almost 2/3 of the world's farmed fish are going to be coming from land-based systems like we're talking about by 2030.
2/3. That's huge. No wonder this job is so in demand. Okay, so job security is a plus. What about the actual day-to-day? I'm guessing there's something pretty rewarding about, using your skills to help these creatures thrive.
You're absolutely right. A lot of technicians talk about that sense of satisfaction, knowing they're making a difference, tackling overfishing and all that. Plus, it's hands-on. Every day is different. You're problem-solving, tinkering, coming up with creative solutions.
Sounds like my kind of work environment, not gonna lie. But let's flip the script for a sec. What are some of the downsides? Who shouldn't run out and apply for this job?
Well, for starters, it can be physically demanding. You're on your feet a lot, lifting equipment, sometimes dealing with, well, let's just say things can get a little wet and messy.
Yeah, I imagine fish aren't the tidiest of coworkers. What about the hours? Is it a strict 9 to 5, or is it more go with the flow?
More like go with the flow, definitely. Fish don't exactly punch a time card, right? You got to be okay with shift work, weekends, and yeah, the occasional emergency call. When a system acts up, you can't exactly tell the fish to wait till morning.
Speaking of acting up, what about disease outbreaks? That's going to be a constant concern.
Absolutely. That's why biosecurity is so important in this job. You're constantly cleaning, quarantining new fish, watching for any little sign of trouble. It takes a certain kind of person, someone who can stay calm under pressure and make tough decisions when they need to.
So a love for fish, a strong stomach, and a level head.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, let's say someone's got the skills, they're up for the challenge. What's the career ladder look like? Can you climb the ranks in this field?
Definitely. In smaller operations, you might be a bit limited in terms of advancement, but in those bigger companies, research facilities, there's a lot of potential. You could become a senior technician, move into management, maybe even specialize.
Specialize in what? Give me some examples.
Oh, there's all sorts of options. You could focus on fish nutrition, disease prevention, breeding programs, even get really specific, like optimizing the lighting systems for different species. If you're passionate about something, chances are there's a niche for you in aquaculture.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, that actually sounds pretty cool. So we've covered the good, the bad, and the possibilities. Now, listener, it's your turn to weigh in. What are your thoughts so far? Is this career path still calling your name? All right, let's say someone's sold. They're ready to ditch the spreadsheets and embrace the world of sustainable fish farming. What does it actually take to make that leap? Do you need like a scuba diving certification and a PhD in fish whispering?
I mean, the scuba certification couldn't hurt, but it's not on the official list of requirements. In all seriousness, though, the path to becoming an aquaculture recirculation technician, it's a little more about brains than brawn, you know?
More about like test tubes than fishing nets.
Exactly. Though some hands-on experience never hurts. But yeah, RoleCatcher was spot on. Education is key these days.
Okay, so break it down for us. What kind of degree are we talking about here? I see fisheries and wildlife sciences, marine science, even something called aquaculture engineering. It's pretty cool how interdisciplinary it is.
It really is. Think about it. You've got to understand the fish, right? That's your biology. Then there's the water chemistry, making sure it's all balanced and whatnot. And of course, you've got to be comfortable with the tech side, those complex systems we talked about. So yeah, it's the career that brings a lot of different skills together.
It's a little something for everyone. So let's say our listener, they've got the education, they're ready to jump in. What does the career ladder look like? Where do you even start?
Well, like most industries, you got to pay your dues a little. Entry-level technician roles, that's your foot in the door. Assisting senior staff, getting to know the systems, monitoring those water parameters. It's all about learning the ropes.
And from there, you can kind of, specialize. I'm picturing someone who discovers they're really into fish genetics, or maybe they become a total whiz with the recirculation tech.
100%. That's where things get really exciting. You can carve out your own niche, become an expert in something you're passionate about. Fish nutrition, disease prevention, breeding programs, even something super specific like, I don't know, designing those underwater lighting systems. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. So for our listeners who are, let's say, feeling that aquaculture itch, what are some practical first steps they can take right now to get the ball rolling?
Well, like I said before, hands-on experience is gold. Even if you can't land a fancy internship at an aquaculture facility right away, there are other ways to get your feet wet, literally. Volunteer at a local hatchery, an aquarium, anything where you can get some experience with aquatic life.
And hey, if you're near a college with a marine science program, don't be shy. Slide into those professors' DMs, see if they need help with research. You never know what doors might open.
Exactly. And while you're at it, beef up that resume. RoleCatcher mentioned those certifications, right? Aquaculture technology, aquatic animal health, water quality, those can make a big difference when you're applying for jobs.
It's like saying, hey, I'm serious about this. I'm not just some random person who likes looking at fish.
Exactly. Plus, those certifications usually involve some pretty in-depth training, so you're gaining valuable knowledge along the way.
So to wrap things up, we've explored the world of aquaculture recirculation technicians. We've talked about the tech, the fish, the challenges, the rewards, and most importantly, the impact. Because let's face it, this isn't just a job. It's about shaping the future of food.
No pressure or anything, but yeah, imagine being part of something that big, something that could actually help make the planet a little healthier, one sustainably farmed fish at a time. It's a pretty amazing field to be a part of.
No doubt about it. And on that note, we'll leave you with this thought, listener. Could this be your future? The answer, well, that's up to you. Until next time, happy diving.